Welcome, ladies, to the Work in Real Time, Episode 6. It is February the 11th. My name is Alicia, and I am a holistic health coach who supports women in creating lives that feel sustainable, nourishing, and grounded. This week looked very different from the weeks before it because life asked something different of me. Technically, all I did this week was finish week 1. I pulled the final card, which invited me to repeat an affirmation about learning to trust my body again a few times a day. I also kept practicing what I've been learning, which was listening, pausing, and asking myself what I needed in the moment. But beyond that, I quietly stepped back. This was a hard week for me. It took everything I had just to do the basics. I found myself asking, what's going on? Because I couldn't remember the last time I felt this way. I could feel tension, restlessness, overwhelm, anxiety, and grief. So instead of pushing through, I paused and asked my body what it needed. What came up was care. Care that looked like rest, silence, and simple unstructured days. I gave myself permission to slow down without guilt. I'll be honest, at first I felt like I was losing ground. I wasn't actively moving through the lessons. I stepped away from the program, except to check emails and stay connected in the community. And that old voice tried to tell me I was falling behind. But when I looked closer, I could see something else was happening. I was still slowing down when I noticed myself eating fast. I was still noticing hunger and fullness. And I was practicing breathing, especially at night when anxiety crept in. Even though my sleep was rough and my mind kept racing, I chose grace instead of judgment. My body felt heavy, like lead, so I stopped trying to fix it. I wrapped myself in my electric blanket, I drank warm beverages, and watched shows I had been wanting to see. I did small, comforting things and let that be enough. As I kept asking myself what was really going on, deeper layers began to surface. I realized I'm already grieving the loss of a daughter who would be leaving for college this fall. And I'm feeling the weight of the state of our society. There were moments when I thought my world feels upside down, like I'm living in a bad dream. I was also carrying the fear of my daughter who had decided to participate in a protest. I want her to use her voice and stand up for what she believes, but I also want her safe. And I found myself thinking about what it means to raise a brilliant, talented young Black woman in a world that has not been kind to Black women. A world that still requires us to fight for space and often offers that space with conditions. On Saturday, while watching Michelle Obama's documentary, Becoming, everything came to a head. When the scene played, showing the night President Obama won, people holding signs, cheering for change, and full of hope, I broke down. I sobbed for 30 minutes, and all I could think was, how did we go from that moment to this? How did we move from me believing we were finally turning a corner to a time so full of division, cruelty, and disregard for one another? If someone had told me years ago that my daughter would be participating in protests, I would have laughed and said, we're past that. But here we are. And I realized not only do I fear the future, I fear the now. Because of all of this, I didn't begin the bonus module on Black women and food and body liberation this week. This week was about taking care of myself. And for the first time, I didn't override that. In the past, I would have forced myself forward and probably crashed hard later. This time, I rested. And now I can feel a shift beginning. This week taught me that diet culture tells us that if we stop, we fail. This program teaches the opposite, that stepping away can be necessary. What you've learned continues to live in you, even when you're not actively doing the work. And I can see that now. Even in rest, I was listening, pausing, and responding with more kindness than I ever would have before. What I'm carrying forward is this. Healing is not linear. Some weeks will be active, some weeks will be quiet, and that for some weeks, the bravest thing I can do is rest. I hope to move into the next module in the coming week, and I'll continue slowing down, trusting my body cues, and gently continuing to untangle my diet culture thinking, one moment at a time. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep showing up for myself. That's where I am this week. I'll check back in next time and share what unfolds. If you're navigating your own relationship with food, body, or health, and would like to learn more about the Empower Her journey or join my free private Facebook group, you can find the information in the links below. And I'll see you next week right here for the work in real time.